Hey, what's good, everybody? This is EJ.
It's your boy Kenny.
And from Snowy, Connecticut, it's Francis.
And this is the Banter 3 FC podcast for three friends that love the game and love talking all things football. Before we get started today, I want to remind you guys we are on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Appreciate the love and support that you guys give us. Keep showing us love, share all of our content, because without the fans, we're nothing.
You might as well be on Snapchat, but got everything else.
And TikTok too. Sheesh.
Well, they just, you feel me? They banned it, then they brought it back. So I don't know if we can make our reach into that, So, It is what it is. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, we are back with a special edition episode this week because, this past weekend we didn't have any Prem games. We did have, little FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all that stuff going on.
Some of us.
Yeah, actually. Well, not all of us. You guys did.
You had looked like you had some Italian football that you watched this weekend?
Yeah, I gotta show a little support, gotta show some love to my boys. I don't really like AC Milan though. This is just a Balotelli jersey. I like Balotelli.
Ah, got it.
Yeah, that's my boy. Why always me, But yeah, so we figured, we're a little more than halfway through the season. We figured we, do a special edition episode, talk about a couple of things. First, we're going to grade transfers that happened in January. And remember the criteria. Players who have come outside of the Prem have a 2-year acclimation period before we give them a grade. Anybody who's already been in the Prem and went to another Prem team, they get it 1 year. So I think in total we got 5 players that we're going to run through.
Yeah.
Right. All right. That's going to be the first segment. Second segment is we're going to give our manager of the season so far award. And we'll throw an honorable mention in there as well. And then we'll wrap it up. Just to give you a little something during this. Oh, player of the year as well. Can't forget. Yeah. Player of the year so far. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. So, without further ado, we're going to start with the transfers. First player on the list is Jakub Kiwior. A transfer or a signing Arsenal made in the 2023-2024 season, where he came in halfway through in the January transfer window. And he came from outside the Prem, so he had 2 years. Now we're on year 2. After Jakub being there for 2 years, I think my final grade, and I'm pretty sure I gave it to you guys a few like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it was off a really rough result. But if I'm gonna be honest, I think that's my score, a C. I'm sticking with that. And the reason why I'm gonna give him a C is because what I've learned over his 2 years is he's decent backup, but he's not a player that can play consistently. Because when he plays consistently, he's bound to make a howler of a mistake. But if you sprinkle him in here and there, where he doesn't have to play 3-4 weeks at a time in a row consecutively, he's fine. So that's my grade for him, and that's why. Just an average signing. Nothing crazy, not a flop. Because we have signed worse, in my opinion.
I would give him a C-, mostly based off of the fact of, as you mentioned, he can be a liability at times. And there are some games where he has been the reason for goals coming in. He's been overpowered sometimes, unfortunately. So he's not, to me, he's just not the level of a proper Arsenal defender. But hey, so my final score for him is my final grade for him is a C minus.
Oh, you guys are nice. I gave him a D minus. EJ, the reason you just said I would have to disagree. When we have seen him sprinkled, he still makes mistakes. I don't know of a time when he comes on, it's like he always has to make a mistake. We could talk about the City game. There was another game too where he got substituted, where he made a mistake. So to me, it just doesn't matter. Start him, take him off the bench. He's gonna make a mistake. To me,
I think that's a bit of recency bias because like last year when he played more, he wasn't making a lot of mistakes. He just wasn't able to do the inverted attacking part of being our left back. But he wasn't making like the howlers that he made this season. Like that's like whoa, like what are you doing? But I'm so like because he had 2 years, I'm looking at the full thing, not
the
just
totality. That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. The other part of my grade is just that he doesn't move me. He doesn't. When he came in, guys, yeah, he's good at playing pretty much across the entire back line. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did
No,
I use
no,
a
no, no.
bullet?
That's no. He's just either a center back or a left back. That's it.
Right, but another thing, he could use both feet very well. I remember
No, no.
Even Rafay mentioning him being a speedster. I just haven't seen any of
Don't
these
talk to
things.
Rafay about Arsenal.
Hey,
Talk to me about Arsenal
Rafay,
because
Rafay provided statistics that they measured their speed, and he was even faster than I forgot whoever he said it was. But hey, all I know is he doesn't move me. He hasn't done anything to like, oh my God, great
yeah, but don't you
player.
think D minus is very close to F, which is a flop?
Eh,
Would you say that he's a
exactly.
flop? If the player was signed to be a depth player, like you got to look at it from that's the perspective that I'm looking at it from. Like
Yeah, he's
we
not giving
signed
you the depth that you need because God forbid Saliba or Gabriel get hurt and you put him in. You guys already are like, oh my God, Saliba
Yeah,
or
every
Gabriel
time
are
he
hurt.
starts.
no. He is a third choice depth option. I'm okay with that because if Saliba gets hurt, like if everyone's healthy, this is what the chain of command is. If our center back gets hurt, Ben White or Jurrian Timber will play center back before even Tomiyasu. All of those guys would play center back before Kiwior did.
And I think that is actually because he just hasn't been what he's supposed to be, though. I don't think that's supposed to be. That's the point. He hasn't been good enough that Ben White
Makes
has to now fit
Arteta
in.
make him have to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
So
signed him. We signed in a Polish kid out of an Italian team for 13 to 15 million, whatever. Even the money spent doesn't even like show like this is supposed to. He's supposed to come in and be a guy. This is just supposed to be someone on the team to provide. You get what? Like I get what you're saying, but when we grade these players, I want it to be like based on what their function is. Like if we paid like Declan Rice, for example, we paid 100 mil for him, and he's not playing well. We paid 100 mil for you. You should be playing well. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm looking
yeah,
at it from that.
the
That's how I'm
scale.
going about grade.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
for his function, he just doesn't do it. So I'm sticking with my grade D minus.
Okay, fair. All right, up next, Enzo. Sorry, E5? No, E8. Fernandez.
Yes, yes. EA. I gave him a B overall. Basically starting out, it wasn't all dandy and roses. It took him actually quite some time to kind of get acclimated and stuff. But as he got acclimated a little bit more, you could see there are certain games he put together where you could see the talent, the World Cup winner that he is. I still think he has some ways to go for sure, but so far, I think for overall what he has done for the club so far, in terms of a signing, I think he was 107 million pounds. So it's a hefty price, but overall, I think it's a pretty decent signing for sure. So I would give him a B.
Okay.
Well, for me, I'm gonna say Enzo's a B minus. I think the first part of his time at Chelsea was rough, the very first year, and up until recently, I feel like it was not trending in a good direction because it looked like Lavia was gonna be the main person in the middle with him and Caicedo, but over the past like 3-4 weeks, month, he's looked a lot more consistent in the side. So B minus for me.
Man, you're making me look like a hard grader. I said C minus. I feel like his first year, obviously we give grace period for a reason, but if we want to talk about the money spent, right, the most expensive midfielder at that point, um, lots of pressure there and lots of expectation. I didn't think he lived up to it. Not a lot of people could, which is fair. And then this year, I feel like he's made some good progression, but still, it doesn't feel like he solidified the position for himself. I feel like the likes of Lavia coming in that kind of pushed him out. A player of his caliber should be able to hold down the position and know that, no, this is mine. So for that reason, I give him a C minus. But he's a player that I can see still working out over the long run versus just these 2 years. So
I do also want to mention that he played
You
with a
are
sports hernia.
harsh.
He played with a sports hernia for literally the whole second half of the year. So that's why I also have to give him grace to that because he was fighting through it for sure. And we didn't find out until summertime.
mhm.
Nah, Kenny's just a harsh grader.
No, that's cool.
He's just a harsh grader.
I'm a
bruh.
person who respects criticism, constructive criticism, so I don't mind it.
Nah, like C minus, bro. C minus is crazy. That's basically a D. That means he just showed up to class.
I just know what he came from the World Cup, him signing for Chelsea. I expected a lot because that's a player that I didn't even want to mention that to get. So
Okay. Well, up next, another Chelsea signing. Mikhailo Mudryk.
can I go first?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
As I was looking at this, we've done this before with the likes of a man named Anthony, who's tearing it up for for Real Betis right now. And I compared these two players, and if you put no pictures to their statistics, you couldn't possibly tell me which one was which. For that reason, it's an F for Mikhailo Mudryk. I don't know why he doesn't get the same hatred that Anthony got, but to me, he hasn't done anything. So yes, he's a failed signing.
My turn. Flop F. F is for flop. Just he's provided nothing for 2 years, done absolutely nothing except score goals in the high school league. Get him out of here. He's an F. Flop.
I hear you. I hear and taking your grades, gentlemen. Me personally, obviously, as a Chelsea representative on this podcast here, um, I give him a D plus. D plus, and the reason why is because they're obviously his debut against Liverpool. He only came on for a little bit, but you can see the sparks. But personally, I really agree with you guys. We expected him to be levels. He's not levels. In fact, he is just not Chelsea quality whatsoever. and and he's had multiple instances now to kind of prove himself. He's just not cut out for it. It's just what it is. It's unfortunate, and we spent quite some money on him, 90 million pounds, I believe. So I give him a D plus.
If you gave Anthony an F and you're not giving him an F, your blue glasses are on and they're squeezing your brain.
Thank you.
But anyways, up next, Noni Madueke.
Tukunonso, one of them. Listen, I believe I gave you. I was in between two grades, but because of maybe this is a little bit recency bias, but I'm gonna give him now a C plus. He's definitely had some good moments in the Chelsea blue, but I need more from you. I need more from you, and my friend, you're becoming very predictable to defend. Everybody knows you don't have a really good right foot. In fact, you don't even have a right foot, to be honest. All you're gonna do is go to the byline, cut him with your left, try and cross it. Or if you're gonna try go down to the line, you're gonna try to cut it back. You pose no attacking threat with your right foot whatsoever. So everybody knows what you're gonna do. It's unfortunate. So you're easy to defend. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a C plus. I need more from you for sure.
Oh, I'm a little surprised. I gave him a B. I think because he started, kind of when things were rocky. And then once he got going and was in the team more, which he deserved. Remember, even in the last season, we were all saying like, "Wow, he's finally playing well, more consistency." All we ever wanted from him was final third, just make the right decision, whether it's the right pass or shoot and get it on target. But for me, he's been a bright spot. I think he's very positive. There's one thing he is going to take on players, and 9 or 10 times it creates something. But yeah, we're still looking for that killer instinct. But I like him as a player, and if he's able to get better and kind of just be, like you said, be a little bit more unpredictable when he gets in those positions, right foot, left foot, I think he'd be a really good player. So a B for me.
So for me, I'm gonna say a C plus. I think he's just been slightly above average. Like you can see that there's talent there, or there's potential there, and he's a bit raw. Just wish he had more of his decision making in the final third was better, and I wish he was a little less selfish. You guys may think differently, but I feel like he's a little bit too selfish sometimes, and I feel like if he changes that slightly, he'll be more effective. But C plus for me. And he doesn't play for Nigeria, and that bothers me. So,
We hear your sentiments.
and then so 1, 2, 3, 4. Last but not least, Badia Shile from Chelsea. Another Chelsea signing.
Yeah, this one also I was. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it right now. Body show, I'm giving him a D minus. I can't give him my F because of there have been maybe 1 or 2 games where he was the man in the match. Other than that, he's been absolute shite. To be honest, it's sad. It's like he's one of the players now. When you see him in the starting lineup, you already know you're conceding a goal. It's just that how bad is the error gonna be? Unfortunately, so yeah, D minus.
Can you send me videos of those games where you got man of the match? I've never heard of such things.
I will. I
I would
will
really,
do that.
I would really love to see it.
I will do
Um,
that.
he is. I gave him a D. And for the reason that I wouldn't say he's a flop because, as a defender, hey, you're signed to do a job. We're not looking for you to score goals and get assists. Um, but yeah, he's a very, very shaky center back. Just sometimes some plays he makes, it's like, where did they sign him from? It's just very boneheaded. Why did you even think to do that type of plays? But yeah, he's now pretty much, I don't even know if he's second string, third string, but looks like Tosin is really solidifying that position for himself. But yeah, him and Dasasi back there was just atrocious. So yeah, a D.
Calamity.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. A D. I don't. How much did you guys sign him for?
Body Shield.
Yeah,
Let me look. Body Shield was 35 million.
yeah, that's okay. Spent a good amount, especially for a defender. Um, you guys bought him to be something at your club, not just depth. Like this wasn't somebody that you just bought because you're fighting for the Prem and you just need to have more bodies. You bought him to be a bigger, like a solid player in the squad, and he
You need
just
to
isn't
also
that. Makes
understand
way
we
too many
have clueless
mistakes.
owners at my club.
Here we
This is
go.
not my old ownership. Shout out Roman. This is not my old ownership. We have clueless owners now. So
You're showing support to a man that funded a war. A war.
my owner actually cared about my football club. These owners don't. And that's all I'm saying for right now, because we can go into a whole conversation about that.
All right, we'll save that for another episode, though. But like I said, yes, Benoit Body is Shield a D. All right, that's the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody else to come at the end of the season. All right, we're gonna transition to the next part of the next segment of the show, and that is let's start with Player of the Year.
Okay.
Everyone want to give their Player of the Year, or before you do that, maybe give your honorable mention, and then give your
Ah,
Player of the Year.
yeah, I'll start. My honorable mentions were Chris Wood. I think he's having a fantastic season.
Facts.
Um,
That's literally
no
what it
denying
should be.
it. He's balling right now. He's just in the right place at the right time, getting
17 and
deflected
2.
goals. Yeah, he's Forest might make the Champions League, and he's going to be right there, leading that front. And then the second player I had was Cunha. He's a player. I think he doesn't get a lot of looks because his team is just so atrocious. But if you go and watch some of the highlights of this man this season, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
he's
just saw a
natural.
goal. I know you have him on your fantasy team, Francis. He scored a goal against Aston Villa
Mm-hmm.
where I don't know if you saw that goal. He gets the ball, does like a dummy move, and then just slots in the corner past Martinez of all goalkeepers. So
Yeah.
he's just balling. He's just balling. But
He's go.
with that said, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's going. He's leaving Wolves this year, guaranteed.
Oh, he has to. I'm surprised he didn't in January.
Yeah.
But with that said, to wrap that up quickly, player of the season so far is none other than Mo Salah. I don't think there's any other player we could even say he has a goal and assist every game. Liverpool at top, and it's strictly because of him. He's doing something every single game. Mo Salah. That's it.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Francis.
Yeah. My honorable mentions. First one would be Chris Wood as well. My second one was Arsenal target striker Alexander Isak. He's been having a pretty damn good season himself too. But like Kenny said, I mean, we'd be foolish to say anybody else but Mohamed Salah. And I didn't realize, I knew he was leading goals, but I didn't realize he was leading the league in assists as well. Like, he's on a tear right now. So yeah, Mohamed Salah right now.
All right. So my honorable mention is actually going to be, I had a couple. First one was Alexander Isak. Second one was Chris Wood. And third one would have been Justin Clivert. He would have been my third. I think the other guys, we see what they're doing. But I think Clivert in that team, I guarantee you a lot of people looked at Bournemouth or like they may be one of the teams that go down because they've been struggling these past 2-3 years. Got a new coach. He looks like he's promising, et cetera, but we don't know kind of thing. And he's just been the bright spot in that team. So I think he would have been someone that I would have considered to be player of the season thus far. Yeah, it's straightforward. It's Salah. Goals, assists, league position, Champions League position. They just got knocked out the FA Cup. But
Let's not
that's
speak
another
about that right
conversation
now.
for another day. Yeah. But yeah, it's not a good look. But hey, they're still doing whatever they got to do on other fronts. So
EJ, I was playing for Liverpool on Sunday. It doesn't matter. I watched that game. They did not care about that game at all. It's like they want to focus on other things. that's
Gotcha.
that's what it was.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so I guess this was an easy one. Everybody said Mohamed Salah for player of the season. It's pretty straightforward, I guess. All right. Last but not least, manager of the season. And let's leave the honorable mentions to one. So we'll give one your honorable mention and then manager.
Ooh. All right, that's tough. So honorable mention, I will go Nuno Espirito Santo. He could easily also win it. I think he's done an incredible job at Nottingham Forest. They defensively very, very solid. And I believe, what are they now? They're at third, which is incredible at this point of the season. So a shout out to him. But this could go either way, but I went with our Bournemouth manager, Iriola. I think he's just had especially because of the injuries they've suffered this year. It's like they're still getting results, they're still getting wins, and they're an exciting team to watch. I think everyone, even in our group chats, like when Bournemouth's playing, everyone's tuned in because you're going to see goals, you're going to see something exciting. Justin Clivert's going to score a hat trick. Semenyo's going to score a rocket. Something's going to happen. So that's my manager of the season so far.
Yeah, I actually didn't have a honorable mention. I just went straight manager of the year so far, and I gave it to Nuno. Nottingham Forest, no one saw Nottingham Forest being this good whatsoever. So all respect to him and his staff for having the team where they are right now, for sure.
Okay. So I'll say my honorable mention for the season so far this is really tough. I think can be kind of just inverted, but my honorable mention was Ariola from Bournemouth because I feel like I said, coming into the season, you look at them, they're one of those teams that's, they'll probably get relegated, but they look amazing. Like they look like those years ago when Swansea was in the league and they were like that cult team.
Michu.
Yeah. They had all those ballers. That's how I see Bournemouth. They have like a coach that just tells them, "Yo, just work hard and just go play. I want you guys to just go play." And they just look really good. They look a lot better than what I ever thought they would be. And I like watching them as a team. So Bournemouth's manager Ariola, honorable mention for manager of the season thus far. But for my manager this season, you can't go with anybody else outside of Nuno. No one on God's green earth would have ever thought that Nottingham Forest would be in a Champions League place at this point in the season. That is insane. What he's doing at this club is so crazy. And to have them to do everything that they've done over the past few years in terms of buying bunches of players, like 30 players every window, and like churning through the players, trying to find out who's going to stay, who's going to go, and finding a coach to get the team playing a good style of soccer and everything like that is just crazy. And I think the craziest part of all of this is Nuno came from Tottenham. Tottenham fired him. I think they brought in Conte. Was it Conte after?
Was it that far back?
No, I don't think it was.
I think, yeah, you might be right, but whatever.
I
Yeah,
think
you
it
might be
was
right.
Conte. So
Okay.
they fired Nuno, brought in Conte. Conte got him Champions League one year, and then they crashed and burned the following year. Then they brought in Ange Postecoglou, and Ange got voted for London Manager of the Year. Let's see if these same journalists and voters vote Nuno to be Manager of the Year, since he's actually doing something. Postecoglou has done nothing, but Nuno's doing something. So we'll see if they keep the same energy. What did so Campbell say? I think it's a race thing. I think it's a race. Oh shoot! But we'll see though. But yeah, that's my manager here. Shout out to Nuno, my boy. Yeah. So I guess that wraps up this week's special edition episode on the Banter 3FC podcast. Appreciate you guys always for tuning in, but we figured we just give you this because why not give you more Banter 3FC, you know? So, hey man. So we'll tune in again next week. Once again, appreciate the love and support. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share our content at Banter3FC. Until next week, y'all be safe.